Good evening, booth builders, and tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get my extractor fan box complete. I've got the box, I've got the extraction fan in it if you remember, and now I'm going to be adding the filter box that I bought, and I'm going to show you that in a second because I don't think I've shown you what that is yet. And then I'm going to connect it all up and get it into the house and connect it to the whole system, ventilation system, and turn it on and see if it works. So tonight's going to be a good night. So I'll show you the box. Okay, so this is the box as it currently stands. It has my extractor fan in it here. I've got some soundproofing in the bottom. I've got a hole in the side for the ducting, but I think I might change that to a smaller hole, because what I have also now is this filter. This is a filter box that's basically going to sit there like that. And then in this filter box is very simply, just unclip it here, very simply just a filter. And that is going to capture any dust. Look through there. The idea of this is to basically catch any dust, because this is an extractor fan, so the air is going to flow in this way, and there's going to be dust in there for sure. Now, if you have a look on the outside of the box, this has like flaps on it, which are going to open depending on the on the airflow. Now, that's basically going to send the air that comes out is probably going to go down and hit the floor, and after a period of time, what's probably going to happen is I'm going to get a nice big pile of dust on the floor, which I don't really want. So I've put the filter box there so that any dust that does come through the system will get picked up on the filter, and then later on I can just take that lid off, as you just saw, take out the filter and put a new one in. That's the idea. So now what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to fit that box to I'm going to fit the filter box to this box, put all the connecting ducting between it all, and then take it into the house and try it. Okay, so see you then. Thank you, good sir. All right, so now what I need to do first is just remove these Jubilee clips, because I need to fit some ducting tape just to make it nice and airtight. Screwing it up now, and then the other one. And next is fitting this pipe in between the filter and the fan. So I'm just gauging the distance here and then cutting it off. Now fitting that little piece and adding the ducting tape, and then sealing it down with the Jubilee clip, making it nice and tight. Now I'm fitting the filter box here, but I can't actually fit it into place until I've drilled some fixing holes in the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do next here. And bear in mind later on when I screw it in place, I'll be using some rubber washers on my screws so that it's still airtight. So fitting it into place here. On this side I use a screwdriver because I couldn't get my drill into it. And also I can make sure it's manually tight. Oh, looks like that was the last bit of ducting tape. Oh well, I didn't really want to spend another £5 on some more ducting tape just for these two little connections here, so I thought, what the hell, I'll just do it nice and tight. See if I can get away with it. I think I did in the end. So adding the filter into the filter box now. Just slips in quite nicely. And then put the lid on. Lovely jubbly. Cool. So I did decide to take off this piece because the hole is now too big. So I'm going to cut a smaller piece so I can fit on my adapter. You can see there the two different pieces. The smaller hole one is the piece I'm going to use, and I'm going to fit the little ducting adapter in between the little gap. Fixing into position here. And then filling up the gaps with a bit of glue. And then cutting the final piece of ducting. Using laser precise measurements, I cut it. And then fit it. Then I fit the first Jubilee clip. And then I put the second one on as well, so I can just slide that over when I fit the front piece with the actual adapter in it. Put in some glue around the adapter here. And then I realised, of course, it's going to take 24 hours to cure, so I just place it on the top here and let it dry. So it's back to him in the studio. So guys, I'm back in the booth, back in the house. I've not yet completed the box. It's taken a little bit longer than I thought, actually, which is surprising. But I've put a new end piece on, as you saw. So that means I can attach and detach any conduit from the outside at any time, rather than having to get the lid of the box off and put it on the inside like I was thinking of doing before. So that's good. So now I'm just letting the sealant dry overnight, and then tomorrow I will put it all together and bring it in and test it. So that'd be cool. Tomorrow morning at 7:30 I'm going to be getting my wood for the final section, which is the door section. If you see this here, I still have that to do, and I've got to build the door frame, the stud wall, fit the door and everything like that, and I've got to figure out how to do that. So I'm watching the internet, doing what I can, reading whatever articles I can to get some ideas of how it can be done, and then I'll just do it my own way anyway. No, I don't know, man. I mean, like I said before, I'm no carpenter, so I'm quite nervous about building this thing because obviously it's got to be square. So what I am buying is I am buying what's called PSE timber, which is planed and square edged. So it's going to be straight and square, and it's not going to be twisted, not like the stud walling that I bought for the booth, which when I put it together was difficult because the whole frame was like twisted. So it's more expensive than the cheap stuff, but as it's the door and it needs to be square, I thought it would be better to just have squared, you know, straight pieces of wood. So I'm going to pick that up tomorrow morning, stick it in the garage, and then tomorrow night finish off the box, and then start looking into the door situation and probably build the door at the weekend.